So just recently, UFC 290 was announced, and with it, the co-main event was also announced, and it's going to be Jan Blachowicz versus Alex Pereira. This is a very interesting matchup, and there's kind of a lot of little moving parts in this fight, because as you guys know, Alex Pereira is now moving up to 205 pounds after becoming the champion at 185, but he's also fighting Jan Blachowicz, who's a former champion, and if Alex Pereira is able to win, it potentially does give Alex Pereira the right to get a title shot against Jamal Hill or Yuri Prochazka, and on top of that as well, it would be a win over the only other man to defeat Israel Adesanya in MMA, which is Alex Pereira and Jan Blachowicz. So there's a lot of moving parts in this fight, but I feel like another big part that does need to be brought up is the fact that Alex Pereira was KO'd just recently. He was knocked out only 5 weeks ago at the time of me recording this video, and the fight is in July, so it's going to be about 3 months. 3-month time span between the time that he got KO'd and the time that he fights. And if you do just do a little bit of research, only one Google search is what you need. Some sources say that you need to 3 to 4 months to make a full recovery. Other sources say you can recover within a couple of weeks, and another couple of sources say that you can make a full recovery within 1 to 3 months, but most people make like a complete recovery in 6 months. So Alex Pereira is giving himself 3 months to recover, but it's not like full recovery time, because he's going to be training. You know, he's going to be getting hit in the head. He's going to be sparring. He's going to be training. You know what I mean? He'll be doing defensive drills where he might get hit. He'll be sparring where he might get hit. He's not really giving his brain that amount of time to recover, which is a little bit of a concern, especially when you do fight the man that is named, or well, is known for his legendary Polish power, right? And Jan Blachowicz does have pretty legendary power. He does manage to knock people out. Has he knocked anyone out recently? Not necessarily, because he did go to the decision with Ankalaev. Pretty iffy decision. You know, Jan won the first 3 rounds. Ankalaev got a 10-8 in the 5th. But people debate about it. It is what it is. He beat Rakic by TKO due to injury, which is a bit unfortunate, really. But the last time he really got a KO was against Dominic Reyes 2.5 years ago. So, can Jan Blachowicz go out there and knock out Alex Pereira? Potentially he can. We do know that Alex Pereira will be the better pure kickboxer in this matchup, but it is MMA now, and there's so much more factors that can come into it, such as Jan Blachowicz being able to close the distance and maybe wrestle offensively. So I've looked into the stats for you guys. UFC Stats, great website. If you don't know about it, it's a great website. And if you do look at Jan Blachowicz's stats, this is his takedown lines here. He has never actually gotten a takedown since he fought Israel Adesanya in 2021, where he took Israel Adesanya down 3 times and got 3 takedowns in that matchup. But before that, the last time he had got an offensive takedown wasn't actually until he fought Nikita Krylov in 2018. So his takedowns against Israel Adesanya were the first takedowns he had gotten in 3 years. That is absolutely insane, you know, because he, 2018 to 2021, and he did manage to submit Nikita Krylov, which is a well-aging win. You know, Nikita Krylov is now a very top guy in the 205-pound division. So it's an interesting factor there, because a lot of people will bring up Jan Blachowicz's wrestling, and it is kind of a little bit exposed by Glover Teixeira that Jan Blachowicz doesn't really have the best defensive grappling, because he doesn't. But does he have to worry about that against Alex Pereira? In my opinion, no. I know Alex Pereira is training with Glover Teixeira, so he probably will have a very good game plan for the fight, and I think that is also actually worth noting as well. Glover Teixeira beat Jan Blachowicz and made it look pretty easy as well when he did it. It was a very good performance from Glover Teixeira, and he is now Alex Pereira's head coach. Or maybe not his head coach, but he's a big factor in Alex Pereira's MMA life, you know what I mean? And Alex Pereira and Glover Teixeira could probably cook up a pretty good game plan to defeat Jan Blachowicz. But it does kind of come down as well. You just got to worry about the fact that he got KO'd 5 weeks ago, you know, because it is a little bit sketchy. Now, I do understand he probably has done turnarounds like this in kickboxing before. He probably has been knocked out and then made a comeback with only after a couple of months. Maybe that has something that he's done in his career in kickboxing. I personally haven't looked into it, so I could just be wrong. That's just speculation, but it's an interesting fight, is it not? And I think it's winnable for Alex Pereira. I'm going to leave it down to you guys in the comments as well to let me know who do you think is going to win this fight, because it's so interesting and the public seem to be relatively 50-50. Most people are on Blachowicz, but 42% are on Pereira, and those that are on Pereira, they're on him to knock him out. And I think that's how Pereira wins as well. I think if Pereira wins this fight, he probably does have to knock out Jan Blachowicz. And I actually do think that Jan Blachowicz, for the first time since 2021, probably will get a takedown in a fight. And I think it will be against Alex Pereira. I do think he will be able to take down Alex Pereira if he tried. Because although Alex Pereira was absolutely gigantic for 185 pounds, he is still a middleweight moving to 205 pounds. And on top of that, he is still going to be in like that middleweight frame. It's not like we've seen Alex Pereira spend months off really bulking up, putting on a lot of weight, so he can now cut down to 205 pounds a little bit more effectively and still be like very big for the weight class. He's going to still be in that 185 pound frame, which was still massive, right? He was huge for 185. But it's interesting now. So now he's going to be fighting at 205 pounds against a pretty big light heavyweight himself. Jan Blachowicz is a pretty big guy. I know he said to Izzy that he would fight Israel Adesanya at 185 pounds. I would be incredibly surprised if Jan Blachowicz managed to make 185 pounds, but that's a completely different story. I genuinely think if Alex Pereira beats Jan Blachowicz, I think he will get a title shot. And I think if Jan Blachowicz beats Alex Pereira, he'll probably get a title shot as well. And I think the winner of this fight will probably fight the winner of Yuri Prochazka versus Jamal Hill. Or maybe they'll just leapfrog past Yuri Prochazka, fight Jamal Hill, and then the winner of that fight will fight Yuri. Because obviously when Yuri vacated the belt, he vacated the belt on a promise that he was going to get the next title shot next. And that is fair, right? That's just like it was a pretty savage thing to do, right? You vacate the belt because you're injured. I mean, it's very good. It's something that Francis Ngannou probably should have done when he had his knee injury and only fought once every, 16 months or whatever? Anyway, I digress. I think this is a good fight. I think it's a winnable fight for both. I think it's a close fight. I think the odds are close as well. I believe Jan Blachowicz is opened up as the favourite, -125. Alex Pereira is +105. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm going to be honest. This is going to be an interesting one. It might be an interesting take. For now, I'm going to go with Alex Pereira. I'm going to pick Alex Pereira, man. Maybe I'm just too much of a fanboy of Alex Pereira, but hey, I genuinely think Alex Pereira would beat Jan Blachowicz, and I'm going to go one further as well. I think that Alex Pereira would also beat Jamal Hill. I know that Jamal Hill just recently looked fantastic against Glover Teixeira, but Glover Teixeira is not really a striker, right? He's a grappler and just wasn't able to get his game going, and Jamal Hill just beat him up, and it was a very good performance from Jamal Hill. But Alex Pereira is a better striker than Jamal Hill. Alex Pereira is one of the greatest kickboxers ever. I believe he's the first ever two-time simultaneous Glory kickboxing champion where he did it middleweight and light heavyweight. Like Alex Pereira is him in the kickboxing world, and he is showing that in the MMA. You know, he was looking really good against Izzy in the second fight, until he got KO'd. Oh, that was rough. Anyway, but then as well, he's looking good against Izzy, and I think people misremember that fight. That fight was a lot closer than people remember it being, and that was also a good striking fight with a lot of grappling, which was weird. But yeah, I think that could be an interesting take. I'm gonna pick Alex Pereira, man. I can't pick Jan Blachowicz on the basis that he's going to go for takedowns, because he's not known for that. He's not known for wrestling, really. Like, he hasn't gotten a takedown since 2021, and before that he hadn't got a takedown since 2018. But Jan Blachowicz, though, I think I didn't mention this in the video, so now I think a lot of people would have stopped watching and won't listen to me credit Jan Blachowicz. Blachowicz is a fantastic striker. I think Jan Blachowicz is a very underrated striker in MMA and in the UFC in general. He is a really good striker. He works the legs very well. You saw him chop up the legs against Magomed Ankalaev. You saw him beat up Magomed Ankalaev for the first 3 rounds of their fight before Ankalaev decided to wrestle in the 4th and the 5th. Jan Blachowicz is a fantastic striker, and he's actually quite a good technical striker for the weight class, because at 205 pounds, the technique kind of does seem to go down a little bit, you know what I mean? It's kind of like, as soon as you get past welterweight and you go to 185 and up, the technique kind of goes down a little bit, but Jan Blachowicz is still a very technical fighter, and the reason why I kind of say that is just watch Derek Brunson versus Dricus du Plessis. That's 2 top 5 middleweights fighting. If you haven't seen the fight, watch it. It's very funny. It's quite hilarious. But anyway, I digress again. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next one.